everyone. It is one of my weeks to sew. Well, I say one of my. Last month I did a day to sew, which was just sort of day in the life of a weekend. This time I haven't had a whole day, so I thought I would do snippets of my week where I've been sewing, share with you what I've been making, just incidental bits of my life along the way. And then I joined the Weekend Sewing Club's sew along for the Mix It Up tea with the lovely Sarah of My Handmade Wardrobe, and that was really nice because first of all I was wearing one of my Mix It Up teas that I've made out of double gauze, but I actually sewed a second double gauze one in the apple coloured double gauze that I dyed that was originally white, and put like a lovely cactus cotton lawn across the top. It was really nice just to join in, chat with everybody, hear and listen to Sarah's expertise and answer questions, and it was just very nice, chilled. Because I wasn't hosting it, which I normally do, it was nice just to take a little bit of a more chilled journey on that one. I decided to make the Seamwork Benning, which was a free dress pattern that came out last year. I don't know if it's still available, but it's just a nice sort of V-neck top to the dress, high waist sort of gathered skirt down, and then a ruffle at the bottom, which you could leave off and just lengthen the skirt if you're not a big fan. It's got facings on the V, bust darts, grown on sort of small sleeves. I decided that I would add in waist ties sort of to the sides, and I made it first of all in a lovely fabric that I got off the swaps table, and then I decided to make it in a lovely sort of like very light block printed cotton. And I don't think that'll be the end of it actually. It's a really nice, easy breezy summer dress, which I've been searching for 2 years now, and I think I might have found. So very happy that I found that, and I haven't quite finished the second one, the pink stripe one, because I want to put rickrack on, but I'm just really undecided. Maybe by it's just, I'm determined not to buy any more rickracks. I've got plenty, so I need to choose a combination of what I've got. And then I've also been working on a pattern test for Sarah for her next pattern for the Weekend Sewing Club as well. And I've been working on pattern testing Tammy Handmade's new knicker pattern, and just sort of doing bits of pieces of sewing in between everything else, which is what happens. Okay, it's a weird light in here because it is way too hot to open the cans. I think you might be able to hear the fans. Let me switch that off. That's better. So, as part of my week to sew, I have done the most important project of my sewing career so far. There's been some moments, there's been some careful, important moments where I've sewn things for other people or done a project that I've had to really concentrate on. But this time I was given the wonderful honour of being entrusted with making my stepdaughter Tilly's prom dress. So I thought I would share you a little bit of details. I've been given permission to use some photos by Tilly and her friends. So it started back in March with choosing the design of dress, and actually the lovely Julie of Julie Sews Her Own Clothes had made the Gunner Deatherage Persephone dress, and there was lots of options including a one shoulder. I was given the mission of it being teal because that's the favourite colour, and luckily it blended in beautifully with her friends' dresses, which you will see in the pictures. So we started with making a toile in a green stretch fabric that I had, and the Gunner Deatherage pattern has a lot of variations and gathering in various places and an option of a big sort of flounce skirt, but I knew I wasn't going to use all the fabric to create that until I was sure that I'd made the right starting size. So I whipped up a bodice and short skirt part for trying on. I did include the gathering that has like you make a channel to gather through, plus the gathering further up the waist and on the shoulder. We quickly established that it was too low on the back, and so I made some adjustments to the pattern piece, and we established that generally the fit was quite good. It was obviously quite a thin sort of stretch jersey poly mix, so I knew that that wouldn't necessarily be exactly the same on the finished one, but we knew we were in a good starting place. The one thing I did quickly realise was that there isn't any instructions for how to finish the armhole if you do sleeveless, and no instructions for how to finish the cross the front and back of the body here. So I've sewn other patterns like the notches pattern that has the Monico, which has that, and that includes you put in like the elastic in and so on. So I knew I needed to think about that. So after that I then set about making a full toile, which was in a sort of green ponte that I'd bought from Wasted Fabrics, and I had 3 meters, so I was like, let's see if it will work out at 3 meters. Now you need quite wide fabric for this because of the width of the skirt, but I immediately knew, because the pattern is drafted for like 5'8" or 5'9", that I wouldn't need the full width of the skirt because it would be too long, so I did take a little bit off. So I did a toile of the top part and cut out the skirt but didn't add it. We established that we liked the height of the back, but we wanted to bring it in a bit where it came across the bust line and onto the arm, just to make sure it was nice and secure there, so I brought that in a bit. Checked we liked the length of the ruche on the part of that skirt. I then attached the skirt so that we could then see it was still too long, so round the back with the scissors I went to get a rough sense. We also at that point made sure we tried it on with a pair of shoes that were similar to the height of the shoes she was going to wear for prom, because we needed to know where it would fall when she was wearing heeled shoes, because that's different from having flat. And so then I cut it to get a sense of that. It went home to check that Mum was happy with it before it came back again. Once it came back, I actually took the entire thing apart and laid it over the pattern pieces to adjust the pattern pieces. That was a lot of overlocking to unpick. There is a knack to it. If you haven't, do look it up. I sort of go along the top edge of it and then up, and it sort of then will all unravel. So I unpicked it all and then laid it on to know where to do the adjustments, like on the skirt width and length and on the tucking it in at the side. And then it was time. By this point, I'd ordered the finished fabric. It is a sequin ITY from Minerva, possibly the most expensive fabric I'd ever bought. and I bought some stretch lining as well in the coordinating colour, because sequins, itchy. At this point I was thinking I need to think about how to finish the top edge, because if I folded it over there would be sequins against the body, and also how I wanted to finish the armhole. So I took a deep breath, laid out all the pattern pieces before I cut out, because I don't always do that, but I do on this occasion. I needed to be sure. So then I cut out the pieces. I was quite nervous because it was, as I say, the most expensive fabric I've ever bought. Cut the pieces out, and then I'd had a chat with the lovely Mary, because we was thinking about how to reduce the itchiness on the inside. So the first thing I decided was I would do a lined bodice for the top without the gathering. So I actually attached it to the front so that it flipped inside and the back, and then attached it to the armhole so it all flipped through. I then did hand stitching at the shoulders, but it meant that there was like a sort of fitted bodice underneath down to about waistline, and then where you had to make the channel to do the gathering, that meant folding in sequins. I did try to take it to the edge of the fabric because there was a plain piece of fabric, but unfortunately the pattern piece is curved, and so I couldn't do that. So I was hoping I would be able to unpick the sequins on the edge, but they were too beastly. So I went for plan number 2, which was I had some stretch bias binding, which I stitched up the channel on the inside and under the shoulder to prevent the sequins being itchy, and then down the sides of the body I ran an overlocker over after having already stitched it with zigzag stitch, A for strength and B to get rid of all the sequins. So it just then left the ruched skirt part without any lining. So we agreed that she'd wear like some of those sort of like shorts, either like her Night Pros or some of those sort of snag tight shorts I've got, because once you got to the skirt it wasn't touching her body, and I knew it was going to be warm, so I didn't want it to be too thick a lining as well. So then the final decision on the weekend when she was here was to put it on, to check we were happy, and actually we found that the weight of the sequin fabric was pulling the skirt down, so I actually ran some hand gathering stitches through the gathering to bring it back up, to hold it up, and I actually went back over the skirt piece joining just to shorten it up a bit. And then it was deciding about how to finish the edges of the skirt. So I did a little bit of hand stitching to show how it would look hemmed, because my feeling was that as I fold it over to hem it, you would have like sequins sort of blurring over, and I didn't, so we needed to sort of see it. So I hand stitched a section so that we could have a look, and actually we agreed that we didn't like that look, so I decided to go for laying it on a flat surface and cutting it as smoothly as I could. Now I didn't use a rotary cutter because you've got all these sequins pinging about. I broke about 4 needles making this dress, so I actually went for just very nice sharp scissors, just working my way around, and then I had to stop myself because I was getting like a little bit too focused on it. I was like, to stop. And so there we go. So hopefully you can now see the finished product. She was really happy with it. It looked great with her friends. She had something that no one else would have. It was the colour she wanted. It was comfortable. Anything I would do differently next time. Try and find one where it was easier to get the sequins off for the edging, or choose a pattern that would run straight down the plain bit of fabric. Perhaps use a cotton lining, because if it's hot, but it would be like a thin cotton jersey, not sure. I think it's a lovely pattern to use and make, and there's a good variation, but I would say it's not a pattern for a beginner, because if you've never finished an armhole before without instructions, or done like a stretch across here, The instructions have you putting a side zip in. I can assure you a side zip is not needed if you've got a fabric with good stretch. So it is definitely a pattern that is great inspiration and great pieces to create a beautiful dress, but you do need to be confident enough to sort of take it your own way a little bit, I would say. If you have any questions about it, do let me know. But yes, it was a real honour to be allowed to make it. And now I've been told I'm making the year 13 prom dress as well, but it's going to have a lace back or something. So I'm waiting for the inspo pictures to come through for that.